Hi, it's Laura at Aquamarine 18 Tarot and Books. Thanks for stopping by my channel today. Welcome or welcome back. This is my end of month recap, kind of late, for April 2024, minus the books. I feel like with a lot going on in April, including reading 10 books, it would be a really long time for me to sit here and talk to do everything in one video. So the books are coming in a separate video very, very soon. In this recap, I want to just share some life updates and what I've been up to in April. It was quite a month. I'll also talk a little bit about some tarot learning that I'm doing in terms of classes and workshops, some plans for Marseille for May. I've seen some TarotTube friends making some videos about their plans for Marseille for May, and I'm going to be doing this as well. I'm just going to include it here rather than its own separate video. And I'll check in with my decks to explore / wish list, which I don't know if it's changed very much. It seems to not be changing much this year, really, but I'll check in with that. Anyway, April. April has been ridiculous. Ridiculous and good. So it started out with something that wasn't entirely good. And that was that I nearly missed the eclipse. I was really excited for the eclipse on the 8th. I've been working on learning about astrology more intensively in the past year and a half or so as I incorporated it into my Druidry apprenticeship curriculum. And so I've been really looking forward to experiencing the eclipse. And I don't quite live in the path of totality, but I live like within an hour or an hour and 20 minutes drive of where the path of totality was. So for quite a while, I've been looking forward to going somewhere in the path of totality and observing the eclipse and making a bit of a day of it, or, a couple days of it. Really, really, really looking forward to this. And I started off the month with jury duty. On the day of the eclipse was my summons when I had to go in the morning and, potentially be chosen for this. I mean, I figured I wouldn't get chosen. I'm not exactly desirable for something like this, but I was like, I was pretty upset that of all days, this was going to be on the day of the eclipse that I had been looking forward to. So the way that went was that my partner, who is not into astrology, by the way, went with his best friend, also not into astrology, to a beautiful lakeside inn with a rooftop patio in the path of totality to observe the eclipse without me. And I was so annoyed. I was not happy. It all turned out I got to see the eclipse from home. Not in the path of totality, but close. I was rejected from the jury pool pretty early on. And so I took the rest of the day off from work. I got to come home and I had my eclipse glasses in hopes that I would be out of the courtroom on time. And I got to watch the eclipse from my yard by myself. And, it's not quite the eclipse outing that I had kind of been planning on, but it actually turned out really well because we had beautiful weather. It was cloudy in the morning, but then as it was coming closer to eclipse time, just before, the clouds just like parted as if in preparation for the eclipse. And I've since read that sometimes this is a thing that happens, but we had a great view, totally clear, amazing. And for me, astrology and so much of my Druidry as well, really, is about cultivating a particular kind of awe and reverence for nature and the universe so as to then act in a good way towards nature and towards the universe, right? And the eclipse was just awe-inspiring. I loved seeing it. We didn't get complete darkness because of not being in the path of totality, but everything kind of went strange, kind of hazy. The shadows became very prominent on the ground. The streetlights came on. It was dark enough that the streetlights came on. And we just had an amazing view. We being me, and I saw some of my neighbors out observing it as well, so we chatted a bit. But not quite the experience that I expected, but so amazing. So amazing. So that was an experience. Now, the big experience of April, the end of April, just over a week ago now, that I wanted to share in some detail, is that I went to Reader Studio Tarot Conference in New York City, in Queens, and I had an amazing time. It is thanks to some really, really, really extraordinary generosity that I was able to go. I am extraordinarily grateful that I got this opportunity to go. It wasn't part of this year's plan. I didn't think I was going until fairly close, very, very late in March, I think. And I'm just, it was such an amazing surprise, and I had such a good time. I'm still processing the whole experience. It is like nothing that I've ever done before. So for folks who are unfamiliar with Reader Studio, just briefly, it's been running for many years, but this was the first year that it was back in person after having been virtual, of course, for a number of years. It's held in a airport hotel, the Marriott in Queens near LaGuardia. And it's a 3-day tarot conference, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then the Thursday right before is Divination Day, and there's a bunch of activities that happen on the Thursday that are kind of optional, like it's an extra ticket to go to the Thursday. And so I flew to New York. I looked at driving, but my car is untrustworthy. And it would have taken me at least 9 hours. So I flew to New York, and I took the shuttle to the hotel. And I got to meet Liz of West Star Tarot there, who welcomed me and graciously shared a hotel room with me, invited me to share. And we just had a fabulous time all week. I did anyway. And oh my goodness. So I have notes. I brought a notebook, a dedicated Reader Studio notebook, to keep all of my class notes and things together in one place and do some journaling and so on. So I'll just be looking at that to share some of the things that I got up to. So got there Thursday, met Liz, settled in a little bit, and then got to go to a workshop on Thursday night, which was facilitated by Tom Benjamin. And this was a workshop about reading tarot for kind of everyday or mundane kinds of questions. And it was a great workshop, and it was a really nice way to kind of ease in to the weekend. Reader Studio is quite large. Hundreds of people go. And in the main kind of convention room, there's all different tables, of maybe 10 people each set up. And these workshops are in kind of smaller meeting rooms. And so it was a nice, smaller, I'm an introvert and awkward at large public things or large events. So it was nice to start with something in a smaller group. And so we had a great time in the workshop, about, 16 of us, maybe thereabouts. Some great conversation, practice readings, talked about different kinds of mundane questions, challenges of using the tarot for this, and just had a really good first session. So really good way to start. Then Friday morning, the convention, fully kicked off. And so I got to register. And when you register, you get a nice badge. So I got my badge, weekend pass, and I put my pronouns on there because they forgot. I did ask. So I got my badge and my little welcome package envelopes with the program and different things like that. And the first activity, there's an opening, there's a kind of opening. And then after that, the first activity at Reader Studio is a foundation reading. And for the foundation reading, you read for someone and someone else reads for you, either kind of in a pair or at your table, however, on any question that you have. And it's entirely up to you, how you choose to approach the reading, the spread you use, if any. Someone at your table gets a reading from you and you get a reading from someone, right? As a foundation reading. And then at the end of the weekend, on Sunday, the foundation readings are revisited and you get to pull out the cards that you drew, lay them out in the same way as you did when you initially did the reading. And then you get to incorporate some new techniques or approaches that you learned over the course of the conference. So I had been a little nervous. I had been a little bit nervous about this foundation reading situation because Liz prepped me for this and told me that it was coming. And she's like, she would have wanted to know if it was coming when she first went to Readers, because she's been to Readers a number of times. And so I was glad to know about it, but was also like, oh my goodness, really? But I think it went really well. So the foundation reading started and I had a reading and I gave a reading. And so that was the start. Also on that first day, I went to the meditation room. There's kind of a quiet room during the conference where you can go and just sit if you need some quiet time, but there are also some different guided meditations, or like kind of small group activities like that in the meditation room throughout the weekend. And so I did a meditation, and the meditation was based on the Fool, which is Dandelion, in the Herb Crafters Tarot. And this was a really nice part of the weekend. I didn't expect to necessarily go to the meditation room, but it was really nice. We had a really nice guided meditation, and then some, not discussion, but we kind of got to have a bit of a go around and share kind of our experiences and our intentions, and set an intention for the weekend. And so that was really good. The first of the 3 master classes, there's 3 master classes, which are like 2.5 hours long in the big convention room that everybody goes to with different teachers. And the first one was with V, and it was Tarot for Self-Confidence, featuring the Strength card. And so we had a spread inspired by the Strength card. We talked about embodiment and self-confidence, and we talked about the Strength card in that context and the sign of Leo. And this was a really good, it was a workshop that felt really good. And I used my Next World Tarot for my reading, and I had a really good reading. I brought 4 decks to the conference. I was torn between like bringing a lot of decks, which obviously I wanted to bring a lot of decks, but then also thinking, but if I bring fewer decks, I can leave room in my in my carry-on, which is all I took, in order to be able to maybe bring some treats home, right? So I brought 4 decks. I brought the Travel Size Next World, Thea's Tarot, Diverse Tarot de Marseille, and Naturescapes. And it was really the Thea's Tarot and the Next World Tarot that I used the most in the classes and for the different activities. I used some of the others for kind of personal time, but in the activities, which were, I would say, Smith-Waite leaning, I used the Thea's and the Next World. So we had that class with V, and that was really good, with a couple of different spreads in it. The second masterclass was with Liz Dean, and this was on tarot and numbers in tarot, particularly the 7s. And I really want to get, Liz Dean has a new book about numbers in the tarot, and I would like to pick that up. I didn't pick it up while I was there. I have finite luggage space. But this was a really good workshop, and we talked about the Seven of Cups and connecting different mages to the Seven of Cups. We talked about kind of symbolism of seven and different kind of mythologies and lore and things like that. We did some kind of cards face up, looking at the cards activities. We had a spread that we got to read for ourselves. The convention was a really nice mix of reading for other people and reading for yourself. The workshops tended to include some readings for yourself and have a spread that you could work on. But there was also often aspects of, chatting about your reading with the people at your table, or chatting about it with a partner or the person beside you. That was really, really good to be able to have those conversations with other readers. And I feel like for me, being there, I was worried about being not lost, because I've been reading tarot for a long time, but maybe feeling, I don't know, not like comparison, like imposter syndrome type thing, but I feel like probably a lot of people who are there read professionally and read for clients and read for other people a lot more often than I do. So I was worried that I might be a bit self-conscious in terms of giving a reading for someone else, or explaining my approach to interpreting a reading to someone else who I know is like also a tarot person. But I felt very welcome. I had a great time with, talking with Liz about tarot and talking with Tom about tarot, and getting to talk about our spreads together, and sitting together with the activities, and the other folks at the table were really nice, and it felt really good. It felt really, really good. The third masterclass was Shadows, Sorcery, and Masterful Love, Tools for a Bewitching Tarot Practice with Sasha Graham. And I've never read one of Sasha Graham's books, but now I would like to. Probably the spread book. I think the spread book is probably the one that I want. And this was a good workshop. We did some kind of free writing, inspired by a card. We talked about shadow. We had a spread. We had some more writing prompts. And so this was good. There was also a guided meditation in this one as well. That one I struggled with a lot more for a couple of reasons. One is that I'm a phantasiac. So sometimes if a guided meditation is very visually oriented, I have a very hard time. But I think the bigger issue for that one in Sasha Graham's class was just that trying to close my eyes and do a guided meditation in this huge conference room with hundreds of people in it, I just couldn't. I just could not. I was too excited. And so it did kind of lose me at some point. So that was something. And then on Sunday we had the revisiting of the foundation reading. And so that was really nice. And for the revisiting of the foundation reading, I chose to incorporate some things from Liz Dean's workshop on numbers and bringing in kind of numerological aspects to the reading. And that was a really cool, I feel like a lot of the time learning tarot with books and things like that, I do practice readings as I go, but having this structure of kind of doing a reading at first and then doing one later with the very specifically incorporating new interpretive approaches was really nice. I really like this. Also on the last day, Tom Benjamin did an incubator about fortune telling, and we talked about fortune telling, the ethics of fortune telling, what it is, what it means, some of the kind of demonization of fortune telling that is misogynist and xenophobic ultimately, and combating that as contemporary readers. And that was a good discussion. It was just lots of people sharing their ideas, and that was really good. And I got a certificate at the end. There was a certificate ceremony where I got called up to go and get my certificate, which I'm not going to show because it has my full legal name on it, but it exists, and I'm going to have to pick a frame for it because, that's really exciting. And then at the very end of the certificate ceremony, they announce, and I guess this is tradition at Reader Studio, they announce the speakers for next year Reader Studio to build excitement and anticipation. And there are some great folks who are going to be at Reader Studio next year. So if I can find a way to make this happen again, we'll see. We'll see. It was great. I got to meet lots of amazing people, as I've mentioned, including several Tarot Tube folks. It was nice to meet you, Tarot Tube folks. I picked up a treat. I got Robert M. Place's book. I was looking at books all weekend, but this one is one that Robert M. Place publishes himself, so you need to get directly from him. So I was really happy to be able to do that because this one would be a bit trickier to get. By trickier, I mean more expensive to get shipped to my house. And so he signed it and was lovely to chat with. So I'm excited to delve into this. And really, in terms of takeaways, I'm just feeling really rejuvenated in my tarot practice. I feel inspired. I feel like I want to do a lot of learning. I feel pulled in a number of different directions in terms of tarot learning, but I really being in a room with so many people who have a shared passion like that, just as much as it's really overwhelming, like being around that number of humans was really good, was really, really good. I took the Monday off after I got home to just kind of decompress. And I'm glad I did that, but I kind of feel like I'm still almost decompressing in a way. I've been reading a lot with more abstract decks, more pip style decks, and I have a new rejuvenated enjoyment of the Smith-Waite system, I feel like, having gone to Reader Studio, because a lot of the classes kind of focused on that, though I am doing Marseille for May, so I just love tarot, and this just invigorated that, which is maybe not exactly the right word, because I wasn't in a slump when I went or anything, but it just really was so much fun. I have lots of things I want to try. I have, these spreads and activities that we did that I would like to try, more of on my own. I have some new interests. I really feel like Reader Studio has made clear to me that I want to read for other people more. I read for friends here and there, but I think would like to make a point of doing readings for other people more, because I really enjoyed getting to do that at the Reader Studio, the little bit that I did. I also want to, keep learning. And so on that, I did, earlier in the month of April, I did a workshop for a couple of hours with Charlie Claire Burgess. They offered a workshop on Marseille as one of the, what is this called? Stretch goals, I think it was, with the Gay Marseille Kickstarter. And there were some familiar faces in there, which was fun. So we spent a couple of hours looking at the Marseille tarot, and, I'm enjoying that deck so far. So that was a really fun workshop. I also signed up for the Modern Fortune Tellers Field Guide with Tom Benjamin, which is 5 weeks and running currently. So we've done 1 week and there's 4 weeks left. I didn't know that he was offering this until we chatted at Reader Studio, and I was like, yep, I would love to do that. That sounds like a lot of fun. And so that's on the go, and I'm using Marseille decks. In the context of that class for week 1, I used Marseille Prendre Vie. And so that learning is ongoing. I'm just feeling really excited. I'm really excited about tarot right now. Really, really excited. And just overwhelmed with gratitude again, gratitude and appreciation for the generosity that allowed this to happen for me this year. I'm so appreciative. And I'm so appreciative of being able to meet folks in person. I don't have a lot of people around me, in my day-to-day kind of in offline in-person life that are really tarot people, Definitely some friends like getting readings and some, maybe have a deck that they play around with, but like having that real kind of tarot passion in person with other people is just so special. I loved it. And I want more of that in my life. And maybe that'll have to be, it'll be on Zoom, but I that real-time tarot conversation is just amazing. And I'm so happy to have had that. Marseille for May. I have Marseille for May plans. And I saw a couple of folks make videos about Marseille for May, and I'm going to participate, but I'm not going to make a dedicated video because I don't really have much to say about this other than the fact that I'm excited about Marseille right now because I finally have a collection of Marseille decks that I actually like. I have the Gay Marseille, which the Kickstarter just fulfilled this year, Marseille Prendre Vie by Auntie Kay's Tarot, and the Diverse Tarot de Marseille, which I was gifted last year. And with those three, I feel really excited about doing Marseille for a month. So my Marseille for May plans include using Marseille decks in Tom Benjamin's Modern Fortune Teller Field Guide course. And I'm going to read the Marseille Tarot Revealed. This was not part of my May TBR. This was not in the plan, but I just want to read tarot books and do tarot classes and do tarot things and talk about tarot and I'm just excited. So, yay. Such a good April. Such a good April for tarot. Which brings me to my decks to explore wish list. The same couple of things have been on it for months. Nothing has really changed, I don't think. What has changed? Oh, I saw that Laura Tempest Zakroff, who wrote Sigil Witchery, which is a book that I really loved, has a Sigil Witchery Oracle coming out in October. I have no idea what this will be like. There are no pictures to the best of my knowledge. I just stumbled on kind of a placeholder forthcoming item listing on a bookstore website. I'm curious to see what that looks like. I would like to pick up the Back Pocket Oracle, Auntie Kay's playing cards, and the Magical Nature Tarot, which is a Smith-Waite based deck, very eco-friendly and eco-conscious production. That is still on my list, as is Inner Ecology Oracle, and a couple of like very, very far forthcoming decks, like Charlie Claire Burgess's Playing Card Oracle, which is not even the main project that they're working on right now. So Inner Ecology Oracle and Magical Nature Tarot are on my list, but I'm also just feeling, I'm feeling really into Marseille May with the decks that I have, and I have no wish list related to Marseille decks at all. I feel very happy with the Marseille decks that I have, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good about my tarot practice and enthused. And yeah, I don't really see myself deck shopping this month at all. I mean, something could always come up, but like I don't actually anticipate that. So that is my April. I had a really good April. I am so happy that I got to have these experience with readers especially, and I'm still eclipse inspired as well. I'm feeling renewed, and this is This is a really good way to feel. I'm at a point in my Druidry practice right now that I could finish my apprentice grade this year in August. I'm aiming for winter solstice because I don't feel ready, but I feel like I'm getting there. And that's exciting too. And I have been just really enjoying being in the AODA. We had a really nice event the other night talking about the mentoring program, where a bunch of us who are mentors got together and talked about that. And yeah, I'm just feeling really energetically revitalized right now. And I know that a big part of that is the weather. Feeling like I can finally be outside as much as I would like to, because I'm no longer freezing is really helping my mood and my mental health as well. Getting to, sit on the back deck and bird watch and take photos and read outside has been really, really nice. It's just about getting to patio weather, like patio pints weather, and I am so excited. So, good times. That is my update, my recap of April 2024. I hope that everybody had a good April. I hope that everybody is well. I will see you all very soon in another video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all soon.